Welcome back to the channel. Not the video I was expecting to make at 5:30 on a Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. The squad's been announced. Technically, it's not officially announced at time of recording. It's 5:22, 5:30 British time. Everything gets announced. But Fabrizio Romano's tweet came out about an hour ago, basically highlighting everybody that has gone from this England squad. I made my predictions earlier in the week. You can go and watch that video before that. Kind of obsolete at this point. But this is who I picked to miss the cut, all these players down here. And this was my predicted England team. I got some things wrong, I got a lot of things right, but let's talk about who missed the cut. First of all, James Trafford, Gerald Quansah, all guys, and Curtis Jones as well. All guys we kind of expected to miss the cut. Trafford, you're not going to take 4 goalkeepers. He's not been great for Burnley. We talked about this. Same with Quansah. Quansah's a little too young, I think. The biggest one going down the list, let's talk about it in order. Jarrad Branthwaite. What a miss this is, I think, for this England team. With a team that, we'll get to it now as well, Harry Maguire is done. Harry Maguire has a calf injury, will not play. The fact that Jarrad Branthwaite is not going is criminal, in my opinion. We've got a guy like Lewis Dunk going. Even Mark Gahey to an extent. I just don't think they're as good as what Branthwaite can offer you, and Branthwaite is a left-footed, left-sided centre-back, which is probably what you need. Joe Gomez might get the start now, I would have to imagine. Quansah plays, but Quansah played a lot of right-back. He didn't even start at centre-back for Villa this year, at least for large parts of the year. Gahey's another good option. Don't think he's as good as Joe Gomez, nor does he have the same experience, but we're going to miss a lot of experience, and a guy like Jarrad Branthwaite I would have thought would have been really, really useful to this England team. Other thing going forward is we don't have a lot of left-backs, or fullbacks in general, realistically. Technically, in terms of this being listed, Trent is in the midfield. Trent is technically not even a fullback. But he is, so these are our fullbacks. It's Shaw, who's still questionable with an injury, Kyle Walker, who obviously is great, and Kieran Trippier, who's been fine, has missed large parts of the season for Newcastle, is fine at right back, but not even technically a left back. He's played there. He played well in the preseason, on the pre-tournament friendly yesterday, a couple of days ago. I'd imagine he might play again tomorrow, but you need Luke Shaw to play realistically, and if Luke Shaw's not healthy enough and maybe doesn't play till further down the tournament, realistically, you're going in with 1 left back and 1 right back, which is kind of ridiculous. It's nice, obviously, you have guys like Ezri Konsa and Joe Gomez, who I've talked about, who can play both those roles. He can play left back, and Ezri Konsa can play right back, as he did for Villa, but not the same type of players. Can't get forward as well. But that's going to eliminate and eradicate some of your things. If you want Gomez to go play a fullback now, you've got no centre-back. You've got to play Ezri Konsa or Mark Gahey, or I guess Lewis Dunk as well, who I personally would not have brought. But losing Maguire, fine. He's out with a calf injury, I understand. It's upsetting for him. He's had a really good season for Man United this year. It's almost disappointing because he's really made a bit of a redemption tour. He looked a lot better than he has done. It's a shame he doesn't get to show that. He looks even better every time he puts the England shirt on. No Jarrad Branthwaite there, as I deleted him. Is unfortunate. I don't know. That's a tough one. Moving on, Curtis Jones. We knew who's going to miss the cut. You got a lot of really good players. You need Gallagher to play there. I guess you can have Trent play in that midfield pivot as well as he did. He played really well against Bosnia. Adam Wharton is a bit of a shock selection. I picked him personally, but I'm really glad he's going to play. He's a great depth option, and as a young lad, you got him and Mainu, who are both really, really talented. I think that's exciting, and I'm glad for him. And I think it's a good option to have him there. And then we move into more advanced positions. This is where it was always going to be questionable. We have so many good forward players, but you can't take all of them. And realistically, I think he might have even taken too many as it is. Because like I said, we have 3 fullbacks, technically Trent, depending on how you want to play Trent, but Trent played excellently in midfield the other day. It wouldn't surprise me if Trent starts in the pivot, but that is then going to create a whole host of other issues for you that make it a lot more difficult. Eze, I'm really glad got the call. I think he really, really deserves it. He had a phenomenal game. He's had a phenomenal season. I wish he had a full season, because I think if he had a full season, it wouldn't have even been a question. But I'm glad he made the pick. It was a good choice by Southgate. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. and provide so many things. You saw that big run he had against Bosnia, just a spark plug and someone who can just provide energy in late games. But that meant obviously that James Maddison wasn't going to go. In my initial squad, I basically had it between Jack Grealish and James Maddison. You remember if you watched the video about my predictive squad, I had him over here. I had him tucked away in this corner. I was like, I don't know who I'm going to take. Southgate said I'm not going to take either of them. And I don't blame him for that. Grealish has not had a great year. He's not played a lot. He played a lot off the bench. But he did play well against Bosnia. And he can step up in big occasions. You need someone to come off the bench. He's a really good option. I did decide to take Maddison based on his first half of the year form, but he didn't quite get back to it in the second half of the year. And he even said on, I believe it was Twitter, that, hey, I didn't play well enough in the second half of the season. I left it up to debate, and I shouldn't have done that. And he pays the price for that, and I think that's a little bit unfortunate. The big thing here is with taking 3 strikers, which is kind of unbelievable to me. I don't know why we feel the need to take 3. I really like Watkins, I really like Tony, but Tony's not had a great comeback since coming back from the betting scandal. He's a better player than Watkins is, but he's not in better form, so I would have just taken Watkins and called it quits. Because, let's be honest, Kane gets injured, Watkins gets injured, you need a lot to go wrong there for that to even be a possibility. But Jude Bellingham started up front for Real Madrid this year. You've got Foden who can play as a false 9. You can put other people there. If you're worried about striker depth, it doesn't really make much sense to me, especially with how light our defense is. It would worry me and it concerns me that we're taking 3 strikers, having 3 winger players. We got Saka and Bowen on the right side, and then Eze who can also play on the wing. We have so many of the same type of players and 3 strikers, it seems a little bit ridiculous to me. And a little bit redundant that we felt the need to take that many players when we don't have the same and the right pieces in defence. Other than that, I can't really argue with the squad, but it's going to be interesting to see how the squad performs. It'll be interesting to see how they do against Iceland tomorrow. They should, again, beat the brakes off of them. It shouldn't be close. It should be another 3-0 comfortable as you like, but it'll be interesting to see how he sets up, if Luke Shaw can get game time, which he absolutely needs to. If Luke Shaw doesn't play tomorrow, I have serious questions. And if Luke Shaw doesn't play, I am inclined to say Southgate made the wrong decision. You shouldn't have cut guys like Branthwaite, and maybe you should have even looked at giving a guy like Tyreek Mitchell or Ben Chilwell, even though they've not been amazing. They've maybe not deserved it completely on their own merits, but you need to look at giving somebody like that a call-up. We cannot go into this tournament with just 3 fullbacks. I guess Trent is a 4th fullback, but 2 healthy fullbacks, 2 completely healthy fullbacks, and one who's questionable, who's unbelievable when he's at his best and when he's healthy, but he's not stayed healthy consistently. I have a lot of problems and a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, this is my rant, this is my piece. I'm going to say, hey, I don't like the squad. I would have picked other players, but I'm not Gareth Southgate. I don't have to go out there and coach the team. If they can get it done, then you know what? At the end of the day, I have no problems. I don't care how they get it done, what team they pick. If it works, it works. I'll hold my hands up and be like, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong, and I should have picked somebody else. And he made the right decisions. But until that, there are going to be serious questions. We don't have a lot of experience. You look at these central midfielders. Declan Rice obviously is a mainstay. Gallagher is young, inexperienced, hasn't played a lot for England, has no major tournament experience. Adam Wharton, no major tournament experience. Kobe Mainoo, no major tournament experience. All 3 very talented, very good. No tournament experience. Trent still doesn't, even if he plays in the pivot, hasn't played many games. He has a couple of caps for England now, and obviously he's so experienced with Liverpool, but hasn't played very many England games. Bellingham's not played a ton of England games yet. Harry Kane, obviously extremely experienced. Foden, not played a lot of England games. Palmer, not played a lot of England games, just scored his first ever goal. Gordon, not played a lot of England games. Watkins, Tony. Saka's played a couple. He's still young, though. He's 20, I think. So he still has the world at his feet. There's a lot of inexperience, but we have some big pieces and good pieces. This back line could stay the same, minus this left-sided centre-back. Just got to be careful. Don't get caught sleeping in the first games against Slovenia, against Denmark, and against Serbia. Just be careful. Be careful, and we'll be just okay. But it's an interesting decision, and I thought I should kind of come on here and comment about it after we talked about my previous squad. Anyway, that's it. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button if you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with a Euro preview in the next couple of days. About 8 days away from the tournament now, so next couple of days we'll have a complete preview coming out and a predictions. So that'll be all. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.